Have you ever opened your English notebook again, hoping this time it would be different, but still ended up closing it after 3 days? You tried watching videos, repeating phrases, writing down vocabulary, but your heart wasn't ready to believe in one more try. Maybe you didn't tell anyone you gave up because it wasn't the first time, and deep down, you feared it wouldn't be the last. Most people don't give up because they're weak or lazy. They give up because they feel alone, tired, and silently disappointed in themselves. I know that feeling too well when every word sounds foreign, when every sentence feels like a mountain you'll never climb. You sit with your pen, trying to write something in English, but all you can hear in your mind is, "I can't do this again." You remember the last time you tried early mornings, repeated sentences, hopeful beginnings, and then life interrupted you again. Someone got sick, you had to work extra, or you simply lost that tiny bit of hope you were trying to protect. But sometimes, hope returns in the smallest way: in a comment, in a sentence, in a stranger's story that sounds just like yours. That's what happened to me. I was ready to stop trying again until I heard something that felt too simple to be true. A man in a video said, "Talk to yourself in English. Even if it's wrong, do it every day, 5 minutes." I almost laughed. How could that help? I wanted magic, a shortcut, something new, not just talk to yourself. But that night, I tried it. I closed my eyes and said, "Today I feel tired." One sentence, one breath of courage. And for the first time, I didn't feel like a student. I felt like a person trying, failing, but still showing up for myself. That was the beginning not of fluency, not of confidence, but of something more powerful: the decision not to quit again. This is my story. And maybe, just maybe, it's the story you needed to hear before you close your notebook one more time. My name is Tom. I'm 37. I work in a small grocery store in a quiet town where nothing really changes from year to year. Every morning, I wake up at 6:30, drink the same instant coffee, take the same bus, and talk to the same 5 customers. Life is simple. Some days it's peaceful. Other days it feels like I'm walking in circles, like my dreams have gone to sleep. But there was one thing I never let go of completely. Just one small dream that stayed quietly in my heart. I wanted to speak English. Not for a job, not for money, not to travel the world, just to understand movies without subtitles, to reply to a comment online, to speak to someone far away and not feel small, to write a message in English and hit send without fear. It sounds small to others, but to me, it felt huge, like a secret mountain I kept trying to climb in the dark. I first started learning English when I was 12. I was excited. The words were strange but beautiful, like little keys I wanted to collect. But no one around me spoke English. My school didn't have good classes, and when I made mistakes, people laughed or corrected me harshly, so I learned to be quiet. I stopped raising my hand. I wrote in secret, spoke only when I had to, and slowly, I let go of the dream. But it never really disappeared. It just waited. Years passed, and every now and then, I tried again with apps, books, online courses. Each time, I told myself, "This is it. This time, I will do it." But life kept getting in the way: work, money, fear, exhaustion. There's something painful about trying again and again and always stopping. You begin to doubt not your skills, but your soul. One day, after work, I was cleaning the shelves and heard a tourist asking for directions in English. No one answered. I understood what he said. I knew how to help. But my tongue froze, and my fear screamed louder than my desire to speak. He looked confused, then disappointed. He left, still lost, and I stood there, full of words I didn't dare to say. That moment followed me home like a shadow. I couldn't stop thinking, what if I had just said one sentence? That night, I wrote in my notebook, I don't want to be silent anymore. It wasn't a goal. It was a promise to myself. Not to become fluent, not to be perfect. Just to not be silent anymore. Just to say what I can, with what I have. I had no plan, no fancy books, just a cheap notebook, a second-hand phone, and a heart that still wanted to try one more time. And so, one evening, I opened YouTube and searched how to learn English alone. That search was the first step on my real journey. I didn't know it then, but that small action would change my life. One word, one sentence, one tiny win at a time. The first video I watched was simple. A man speaking slowly, using basic English, with subtitles. I watched it 3 times that night. The second time, I tried to repeat after him. I paused the video, copied his voice, and whispered the same words into my empty room. It felt strange. My pronunciation was bad. I laughed at myself, then felt embarrassed, even though no one else was there to hear. But I kept going. I picked 5 simple sentences from the video and said them again the next morning while brushing my teeth. At first, I sounded like a robot, but after a week, something changed. I started to hear the music in the language. I didn't understand every word, but I understood the feeling, and that gave me enough hope to try something new, self-talk. I started speaking to myself in English small things like, I am tired, or I'm making tea, or today was long. At first, I felt silly, but after 10 days, it became normal. I talked to myself on the bus, in the kitchen, before sleep. It became a secret habit, a quiet friendship with the English part of me that had been silent for too long. Then I added one more thing, mirror practice, every night. I stood in front of the mirror and said, Hi, my name is Tom. It was awkward. I avoided eye contact with myself, but over time, I saw someone else, a man trying, a man not giving up. I also started a notebook, not for grammar rules, just for me. I wrote one sentence every night about my day. I saw a dog. I was tired. The sky was blue. That was enough. It didn't need to be beautiful, just honest. And one day, I wrote, I am proud of myself. That sentence stayed in my head the whole next day like a quiet song. I didn't study for hours. I didn't memorize word lists. I just kept doing these small things every single day. And something beautiful happened. I stopped judging myself. I stopped comparing. I started noticing progress in places I never expected. I understood jokes in videos. I answered a comment on a language app. I helped a tourist find a bakery in my town. Each of these moments felt small to the world, but to me, they were fireworks proof that something was waking up inside me. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was chasing English. I felt like I was walking with it, side by side. 3 months passed. I was still learning, still whispering to myself, still writing short sentences at night, even on days I felt tired. Then something happened. My hours at the grocery store were cut. Suddenly, I had less money and more empty time at home. At first, I thought, great, more time to learn English. But slowly, the silence in my apartment began to feel heavier than before. I started waking up later. I skipped my mirror talk. I told myself, I'll watch videos tomorrow. But tomorrow kept moving farther away. Doubt came back, like an old shadow that never fully disappears. You're wasting time, it said. No one cares if you speak English. One night, I looked at my notebook and didn't write anything. I just sat there and stared at the blank page for 15 minutes. I felt like a child again, stuck, scared, pretending to be strong, but quietly losing hope, one silent evening at a time. I avoided English videos. I turned off subtitles. I didn't answer comments. I told myself, "You're too tired. You have real problems now." And maybe that was true, but deep down, I knew the truth. I was afraid, not of English, but of trying again, only to fail again. I remembered all the other times I had stopped. I could feel the same pain returning, like an old wound I never let fully heal. There was a week I didn't say one word in English. I felt numb, like all my progress had disappeared into the walls of my apartment. I even considered throwing away my notebook. I held it in my hand and whispered, "Maybe this isn't for me after all." I kept thinking, I should grow up, focus on work, forget these small dreams. They don't pay bills. They don't solve anything. But one evening, while cleaning, a small paper fell from the notebook. It was something I wrote weeks ago, just one more try. That sentence hit me like a soft wave. Not loud, not magical, just enough. Enough to make me pause, sit down, and breathe. I didn't jump up with motivation. I didn't cry or smile. I just picked up my pen and wrote one sentence today. I feel heavy, and somehow, that small act made me feel a little lighter, like I had reached out to myself through time and found my own hand. The next morning, I started small again. I stood in front of the mirror, eyes tired, voice shaking, and said, "Hi, I am Tom." It wasn't perfect. It wasn't powerful, but it was real. And that made it more valuable than anything I had said in weeks. I went back to the same video, the very first one I watched. But this time, I understood almost every word without subtitles. I didn't realize how far I had come until I saw who I used to be. And, for the first time, I smiled at my own growth. That evening, I replied to a comment from a beginner on a language app. I wrote, "Don't worry, I'm learning too. Let's not give up." The next day, the person replied, "Thank you. I almost quit today, but your message gave me energy." I sat there in silence. I had no idea that my small journey, my slow steps, my broken sentences could make someone else feel seen, understood, less alone. Something changed in me. I wasn't just learning English anymore. I was building a voice, a bridge, a reason to keep going. I started sharing short posts in English online, just 3 sentences a day, simple thoughts, honest feelings, no grammar perfection, and people responded, not because my English was perfect, but because my words were real. Imperfect, but real. One person wrote, "Your post made my day." Another said, "I thought I was the only one learning this slowly." And I realized something beautiful. Maybe the speed doesn't matter. Maybe the struggle is what makes the voice meaningful. Learning English wasn't just about words anymore. It became a mirror, showing me who I was when no one was watching. A man who tried again, who whispered through fear, who built something gentle inside his silence and shared it anyway. Some people ask me now, how did you do it? How did you become confident in English without classes or teachers or study plans? And I always smile softly because the answer is not what they expect. I didn't become confident. I just stopped disappearing. I stopped hiding behind fear. I stopped measuring my worth by grammar rules or perfect accents or how fast I could learn. I just kept talking, kept writing, kept whispering to myself, "Don't give up today. We'll try again tomorrow, even if it's small." There were days I felt strong, days I felt like a failure, but I showed up. I kept showing up for that little dream inside me. And now, when I speak, I don't hear shame anymore. I hear courage. I hear every morning I didn't quit. Every night I tried again. That's the real progress. Not the vocabulary, not the speed, but the faith, the quiet, stubborn faith that says, keep going. If you're listening to this and thinking, I've failed too many times, let me tell you something. I wish someone told me earlier. You're not too late. You're not too slow. You're not broken. You're just in the middle of the part where most people give up. And if you choose not to give up this time, even just for today, you're already different than who you were yesterday. That matters. That grows. That becomes your story, the one you'll look back on one day with tears and pride and gentle laughter. So keep the notebook. Watch the video again. Say one sentence to yourself before sleep. Start small. Start scared. Just start again. Because the truth is, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay. Stay with your dream long enough for it to grow. And if no one else tells you this, let me be the first. You're doing better than you think. And I'm proud of you for still trying. This is the story I needed when I wanted to quit English. Maybe today, it's the one you needed too.